Americans, we take it so personal. Hello, please, come down. And I said, come down off the floor.
Fruit spoils very quickly. So if you're going to export it, what's the process like?
You always see sheep running around.
Yeah.
And then you go to try to buy meat and everybody's looking at you like, nah, man, goat, never heard of her. Yeah. People always try to convince people that farming is something that poor people do. For the first year and a half,
Really?
I was like perpetually sick.
So how do you solve that problem?
I can show you the quotes for 12,000, 15,000, all the quotes. One girl, after 1 week, she was like, I'm ready for a baby.
Huh? With who?
When it rains on my farm, snails come. So we've been starting collecting the snails. You know, educate people on how to have less farm loss. Because at the end of the day, the less farm loss is the more food for all of us. The duty. Not the truck. I already bought the truck.
Yeah.
The duty.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Built for Ghana. Today I have with me, do you say Anthony or Anthony?
My mom says Anthony, that's how it's supposed
Anthony.
to be. Yeah.
Okay, Anthony. Yeah. So hey, how you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm really good, thank you. Nice to have you here.
It's a pleasure. I've watched your channel. My dad has been a big fan of your channel as well. So
it's a touch
to finally get acquainted, yeah.
Okay, nice. Okay, so let's talk about your journey in Ghana. First of all, are you Ghanaian?
I am not Ghanaian.
You're not Ghanaian. Where are you from?
I'm born Brooklyn, New York, born and raised. Both of my parents are Caribbean. They came at different parts of their lives, but they met in college and then they got together and I'm the result. Okay. So what made you decide to come to Ghana? I came to Ghana during Law of Return. My dad really wanted to come. He had met a lot of African friends while he was in the States, and I think he always talked about coming to Africa. And right before that, he actually got really sick. My dad got really sick and he almost passed away. And he actually was able to make like a full recovery. So after that, he really wanted to come to Ghana. So it was like a big family trip. We all came. My aunt came. And I thought it was a great experience. And I had so many good experiences then, because I'm a Kobolo. I've been a Kobolo since the first time. I just didn't know the word for it. But I've gotten in trotros, but I go everywhere by myself. Okay. So I've had some great experiences. So I love Ghana.
Okay, so you live here now, right?
Yeah, and I live here in the United States.
Okay, so how long have you been here?
This time I've been here for a month, but before this I was here for 2 years. And then I was there for like 8 months before that. Okay,
what made you go back for a bit and come back? Or is it just...
So I grew up in the United States my whole life, so my friends have events. I'm at that age where like my friends have like life events now where I have to be a part of. So I actually the first time I came back was because my friend got married. So one of my close friends, he's like one of my first friends. My age, because I have friends that are older that got married, but I grew up with him. He's like my brother, so I came to his wedding. I was the best man in his wedding, so.
Okay, I see. All right, so what's your experience been like in Ghana? I know you said if you had a good experience, a good overall experience, but from the time that you first landed in Ghana and, what was that like?
Yeah, the first trip to Ghana was not really a real representation, I feel like, of what the experience is, because...
When was that?
5 years ago now, so what is that, 2021?
Okay.
Yeah, 2021, right after the pandemic.
Okay.
It was still like COVID-y, but not COVID. Because COVID levy was on everything still. I mean, it was even up to like last year, right? Yeah. But we stayed in cantonments. I just went out a whole bunch. I had definitely some experiences. My Wi-Fi wasn't working a lot of the time. And I actually even told this story on TikTok, and it got a little interactions from some Ghanaians, but I had lost my SIM card tray when I first got to Ghana. My tray, not the SIM card.
The tray. And I know you're definitely Ghanaian now, the tray.
and I was so stressed. And I would go to Accra Mall, and they have like a little Apple store there. Yeah. So I'm like, can I find? They're like, no, we don't have SIM card trays. Like, can't help you. So then I'm just there like, I need a SIM card because I had somebody buy me a SIM card to use in Ghana, and I didn't have the SIM card tray, so I couldn't even use it. So I asked the security guard. He tells me I have to go to Circle. I'm like, what's Circle? I didn't even know what Circle was or anything. So he's like, yeah, you could take a trotro to get there. I'm like, what's a trotro? He's like, it's like this bus. Anyway, like you cross this bridge and you'll find it. I'm like, I just gotta cross the bridge and I'll find it. So I go over there, across the bridge, and I'm like, this comes up. And I ask somebody. Like,
wait, by yourself?
By myself, completely alone. And I say, is this a trotro? I ask somebody, is this a trotro? I think they looked at me like, what else would it be? And I get on the trotro, and this is my first time taking a trotro. So obviously I've been taking Ubers at that point, taxis, whatever, and I got really used to tipping. So, but it saved me. My ignorance saved me because I get in the church and I try to. He gives me like I give him like a 10. He gives me back like 7, whatever, and I try to give him 5. And he looks at me and he's like, "For what?" And I'm like, "For a tip." And literally everybody on the church was like, who's
tipping on the treasure?
And then like a girl, she was like younger than me. She was like, "Are you Ghanaian?" And I was like, "No." She was like, "Yeah, I could tell." And then she was like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, "Circle." She was like, "Why are you going to Circle?" And I'm like, "I lost my SIM card tray. A guy told me to go." And she's like, I'm gonna go with you." And I'm like, "You?" And I'm like, "No, it's fine." She's like, No, I'm gonna go with you. And then when I went, because I didn't even know what I was walking. I didn't know that it was a bazaar, like a market.
Swallowed.
I didn't even go to Medina. Medina's like lights, right? So I didn't even. Medina would have been overwhelming for me at that point. So I couldn't have imagined trying to navigate that, and I didn't know any tree. I didn't.
Even me, I'm not going to Circle. I don't know what you're doing there.
That's what all the comments said. They were like, "She saved you. Had a guardian angel. She really did save you."
Okay, so you got your SIM card tray.
So I got my SIM card tray. But we traveled all over. We went to, you visited the castles, did that whole experience. I actually did it. My grandmother actually came this past time. So we brought her to Ghana for the first time.
Yeah.
And she got to experience it and like do the castles. The castles were like, I feel like if you experience it once, like those are, even if I bring people to Ghana, like you go, I stand outside because it's a lot to experience. It's a lot.
No, I get it. Okay. So, wow. So you had a real baptism of fire. Circle all the places.
All the time. even like I think 30 minutes into being into Ghana, like just got here and then we were gonna go to Bloom Bar. And that was like the first time I even encountered, like, I didn't even know what a police checkpoint was at that point. It was like, again, everything I had first, it kind of prepped me for like everything else.
Yeah.
So I remember the officer came. And again, I'm not Ghanaian, so the language, even though Caribbean patois can be somewhat similar, like, it's different language. So I remember the officer he said, "Hello, please, come down." And I said, "Come down off of what?" I genuinely did it. I was like, "Are you asking me to come out of the car?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay." I was like, "Come down."
Come down. Yeah. It's true. I wouldn't have thought of it like that. Yeah.
And no reference, right? Like I've never heard anybody use that.
Come down.
Like I'm on a horse. And coming
like,
down off the horse.
Come down. Like what? No, I get it. Okay. So you've so far enjoyed your experience here. Well, obviously it was enough to bring you back to live.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So what have you been doing while you've been here?
Yeah, so I'm actually building a farm here, and I've actually built significant progress on the farm since I've been here in this last kind of 3-year progress. It's been a lot of work. I came here, again, remember, I came here without speaking Chui. I came here without really any knowledge of how Ghanaian business worked.
Yeah.
My parents don't know either, right? So I was...
This is your business.
Me and my family, my dad wanted to start a farm, and I'm running it. I'm the youngest, I'm the oldest, and I'm the one in charge.
Wow.
So he works in America, kind of, funding the operation. I'm here, making it happen. And he always said that he wanted to build a farm, and the best way for his kids to be involved is to build it so that we would have a stake in it. And so I think that's been very helpful. And we've added animals. When I first came, it was just my dad had put the house there.
Yeah.
So my dad and my mom came for a bit, and they built like a little farmhouse, real simple. And that was it. We had like a borehole. It didn't go right the first time, so we had to do it a couple more times, and we had just a house. And so, but now there's a fence, there's a full livestock shed in the back. There's also a smaller one in the front. There's also chickens, and we have dogs, and we have goats and sheep.
Wow.
Yeah, and it all started from we had to grate the land. I started from grading the land, and I'm in Aburi, so the struggles and difficulties with having things come up the mountain. Yeah. It's a mountain of death. Trucks die there all the time. Graders go there to die.
Mountain of death. Wow.
For 2 reasons. For one, people, I think they drive too fast on the mountain, and they tend to drive off the mountain. So sometimes you'll see like a car kind of caught in the, you're like, is the person still...
Yeah.
I don't even want to...
I've seen it. I've seen the barricades, and you can tell where it's been hit and stuff.
Yes, and they fly right off. So that's the concerning part.
Okay. So were you into animals? Like, what made you think starting a farm of all the things?
So my dad's grandfather owned a very large farm, and my mom's grandfather did as well. So I think farming is a huge part of our background, and our heritage, and we've kind of striven away from that because in America that's not really all that feasible unless you come from generations of Americans. Because many generations of Americans that even have their farmland now is from when FDR did the essentially redistribution of the land and gave a lot of people who didn't have land, except for obviously minorities, right? But that was a lot of people start to their family farm. So this was kind of our family farm. Start here, learn the process, learn how to do business in Ghana.
Yeah.
I had been doing business before that.
Okay.
I had 2 startups before.
Oh, you
I
did?
did a startup. Yep. I ran it with my friend. We ran it for a good amount of time.
What was it?
It's a startup called EcoMap, actually. The reason I make this face is because when you ask what is it, then there's another story I have to now tell.
Oh, okay.
Because I was in undergrad. I started interning at an investment analyst position, and for a venture firm. So that like completely revolutionized like my understanding of business and how people calculate certain things. So it was like a great learning experience. And one of my mentors connected me with a young woman. Her name was Pava, and she had this idea for this business where she was connecting entrepreneurs to resources, helping them grow their businesses faster. So I wanted to be a part of that and help the community effort. And so, we built it for a bit, and then I kind of wanted to do my own thing for a bit. We were both entrepreneurs from the start, so we both knew we had our own visions. But got to a point, and then I left the company. I started my own, but I was still supportive of what she had going on. But the reason I hesitate is because actually right before I actually left Ghana, which was one of the reasons I actually came to Ghana too, just to kind of get away from the heaviness of it, was she was actually murdered.
No.
And it was like very big news because of like the nature of the murder. Yeah, if you even look her name up, her name comes up in very many articles. And unfortunately also because of like where, like in Baltimore in particular, it was a black man who ended up doing it. So then it became like racial, they hyped it up racially, so like the news was a lot, but it was like extremely horrific. I went to her wake and everything, and it was just extremely sad. Yeah, it was. And I actually, I was actually just calling my mom I think 2 weeks ago. One of the true crime channels that I watch, they did a video on her, like literally did it. And I at that point I had only been speaking to people in the community, so I never really knew what happened. So like only to 2 weeks ago I actually like saw.
What happened?
She was walking back from a music festival, it seems. A gentleman, she maybe interacted with a gentleman just walking. I think she was just kind of just saying something. She was a friendly person.
Yeah.
And the guy, he went to the door. He was trying to get her to open the door. She lives in a locked apartment building, so she was talking to him from the door. Then I guess he kept trying to get her to open the door. She opened the door. They're having a conversation. There's no audio in the video, right?
Yeah.
But then I don't really understand the middle part. Nobody really seems to, but it seems like she lets him in, right? Because that part is seen. They go up. I guess she was going to show him the rooftop. Right. For what reason, I don't know. But, not to put a blame on her or anything. I don't understand what happened.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this guy in particular, was let out of prison early, but he had been convicted of rape and murder. But right actually before he actually murdered my close friend, he had worked as a apartment worker, maintenance guy, and creeped into another woman's apartment, assaulted her, slit her throat, and he lit the apartment on fire. They had to crawl out of the basement. She won a huge settlement from all of this is seriously. They had to, and the guy went on the run too. They had to find the guy. They had to chase him down at the train station. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. Like it's huge news. It was all over the news. So.
Oh my god.
So it was like that was really heavy.
See what? Yeah.
So there was a lot of things.
Wow. Okay. So is your business still running, your startup?
Oh no. My business came to an end. But that's also a great learning experience. I was doing music finance, so I was allowing people who had music catalogs that were valuable to have people invest in them and kind of be a return investment account. David Bowie did something similar. He did it with bonds. I would kind of do it with more of a different financial instrument. I actually went to the UK because they had a framework that worked a little bit better for me. I actually connected with a ton of great people throughout my process and meeting so many different people in the UK. I went to London for 2 weeks. All the Soho houses and this event and this artist and you meet this person. So Koji Radical, I met him, all these different artists and musicians. So I think that was a fantastic experience. And the music business is a cutthroat game. And when when economic conditions get worse, people have less flexible income
Yeah.
to spend on live events and things of that nature. So that was a significant factor. But then also the consolidation of the music industry was a significant factor, because even though there were a couple different independent labels, a lot of them kind of got swallowed up by the bigger ones. And in music business, one thing people should know is that even though there's all these different labels, you may know like, oh, there's Atlantic and Def Jam and Cash Money, and there's really only like 3 record labels. There are only 3 record labels. They just own every other one. There's UMG, there's Sony, and then there's Warner. So.
Interesting. Okay. So you didn't want to do something similar to that here. You just want to do the farm.
Yeah, I think there's always room for it. I'm also meeting people all the time. Last time when I was here, I was even had a chance. My homeboy is very close to some Ghana musicians, so I met Yel, and just some other Ghana musicians. So I definitely think there's an opportunity here. I actually spoke to, way before I even actually came to Ghana, his name I'm missing, Mr. Easy's team. So we had brief conversations, but it didn't go much further. But that's part of business. So.
Okay. So you have your farm and it's up in Aburi, you said. Okay. So what did it feel like when you were starting, like working alongside Ghanaians and stuff like that? Did you know what to do to start?
No, I'm very fortunate. I'm very fortunate. I had somebody. So my dad has a friend in the United States who has a cousin here who was able to kind of be our liaison. We had met him since he actually drove us around when we came to Ghana the first time.
Okay.
So we had known him for a bit. So when I first came here, my dad had a car here, but I wasn't going to drive in Ghana. I have my Ghana license, but I wasn't going to drive in Ghana at first. Even when you come from America, you don't need a Ghana license at first. If you're coming, you get to have it for like an extended period of time.
International license, yeah.
And so he used to drive us to the farm and kind of interface with the business people, because his English wasn't going to cut, especially in the village, right? They don't really... No. It wasn't going to work at all. So managing expectations, understanding what it's like to do business in Ghana, because I've never done business in another country. Even though I was UK based, I still was and then again, UK and America is kind of like freaking frack, right? Like, it's not too different where it's like, oh, Ghana was a difference.
Okay, so how many acres is the farm?
Right now, the farm is about 2 acres, but we are also looking to expand. That's also a process in itself, right?
Yeah.
You may have a piece of land. You're like, okay, I want to expand. So you're trying to find somebody to get to sell you the land. And that process, even at this point, has taken me about 5 months.
Really?
Oh yeah, you have to ask.
What's the issue?
Finding out whose land it belongs to. One person said they knew, and the person wanted to sell. But every time I see that guy, he's never doing anything productive. So I don't think he's necessarily a great, judge of character. But
okay, so you want to attach it to your current farm, or you want to build?
Well, it's actually right in the back of the farm. But we also are looking to, if that opportunity doesn't present itself, land that's adjacent. There's tons of green area around, and a huge part of what we do is feeding the livestock grass-fed, natural processes. Okay.
So what made you decide to, like, the animals that you picked and things like that, what made you decide to go for those specific things?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think being in the village, you get to experience some things that you wouldn't assume, right? I've been coming to the village now for years, before living there. And so you always see goats running around. You always see sheep running around.
Yeah.
And then you go to try to buy meat, and everybody's looking at you like, nah, man, goat, never heard of her. And you're like, you mean nobody has goat? You go to every cold store, there's like almost no goat. And then you go, I live close to Medina. I went to Medina during last Eid, and you see all the sheep and things that are there for sale. And a lot of people do prefer and enjoy that meat. It's just not always readily available. And I think that sometimes when you even get to see other farms, some people don't have the flexible income to spend on a shed for the goats and things of that nature. But that means that rain falls on them and they have a higher probability of getting sick, right? So I think kind of seeing the processes. And when I was coming to Ghana first, I came with Western stomach. I was sick. For the first year and a half, I was like perpetually sick. Perpetually sick. Yeah, like I had worms. I had so many stomach issues. One time I ate a rabbit. It was the worst decision of my life.
Why did you decide to eat a rabbit?
I was on bolt food, late night, didn't want to cook, saw a rabbit. I said, sounds interesting. At that point, my uncle had already introduced me to Stomach Clinic, which is a popular chop bar in Aburi.
It's called, hold on, the chop bar is called Stomach Clinic.
And it's actually...
Hold on, and you just said, oh, this is a good idea. Let me go to Stomach Clinic. I thought you were talking about a hospital.
It's actually designed like a hospital. I'll send you the video.
But it's a chop bar.
It's a chop bar. But it's designed like a hospital, yeah.
Who thought that was a good idea?
It's quite a popular chop bar.
But
yes.
I mean, you went there to eat, so I mean, it's not doing badly.
and they have, that was my first time even being introduced to bushmeat or the concept of it. I didn't even know some of these animals existed. So when I first went, my uncle said, hey, they have interesting things here. I said, define interesting. He said, okay, well, what plate over? What is the meat? He asked her the meat. He's now translating for me. He's like, okay, antelope. Whoa, that one got me off guard. Grass cutter. What even is that? Oh, and then when I saw it, I'm from New York, so I have an extreme distaste of rats already. So I didn't, a rat on steroids, because that's almost what it comes to. Maybe it's a little bit more natural, but and then my uncle's telling me, oh, the grass cutter meat is sweet.
That's what they all got in and say that.
Sweet. It's the most, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
And then porcupine. And there was civet.
What's that?
I didn't know what it was either. It looks like a fusion between a raccoon and a cat. Apparently, people tend to kill them because they use their glands. I'll just leave it at that for perfumes. Musk is one of the popular ones. Chanel No. 5.
Huh?
There you go. Just taught you something.
Wow. Okay, so did you try any of these?
Antelope, I did try. I couldn't bring myself to try the grass cutter. The antelope, I'm not a fan necessarily. It's like it's too gamey, too wild. The taste is too wild. I mean, if you have a taste for that, I'm sure it's great. The grass, my uncle kept telling me, you have to try it. My uncle said he didn't like the porcupine, even though I saw him eat it. He says too fatty. I could stick with my regular life. I don't need to add a whole bunch of new animals at this point.
So, but hold on, you were like being introduced to all these things, but you got sick. What was making you sick then? Because you didn't eat all these things.
No, of course, yeah. I think that's a huge thing too, even when it comes to the farm aspect of the business. If you live in a place with a lot of light out, when I was currently, because now where I live, like, by Jingano and like, there were always like nice houses, but like the roads, when I first came to God, like nobody wanted to ever drop me home. When I was to Uber, they were like, where are you going? They're like,
I remember someone said to me once, like there's certain places you have to love the person to go there because where they live,
and I was definitely, and remember, the first time I came, I just came to cantonments. So when I first came back to Ghana, all the things that we're doing were in cantonments. And this is before the flyover, so nobody wanted to go. And then I'll actually find more people to take me. But when it came to come back, who's going out there? Nobody's taking anybody. No.
Boss, that's what I want to know. Sorry.
So I had to find ways to try to do. I had to get somebody's number, try to pay them a little extra to come take me home. One guy's like, "I'm gonna drop you halfway." What do you drop me halfway to where? It's 1:30 in the morning.
Okay, so what was making you sick?
I think the food I was eating out sometimes. Sometimes I'd cook. Have food in my fridge, the light would go out. I've never experienced light out, like even though I've been in the Caribbean and I've never lived in the Caribbean particularly. So this is my first time experiencing light out at all. And it was times where like I was even here when the bank shutdown happened. So like there would be like 24, 48 hours. Sometimes it'd be the rain would fall really hard and then it'd be like 12 hours no light. So if you eat that food in that fridge, you're gonna get sick. Sometimes people that are selling food, if their light goes out, they still have to sell that food. They're gonna sell that same food. In my village, that's one of the reasons I don't really eat that much in the village. Like not as a distant to anybody, but I know that the light goes off quite frequently. Like in my village, the next town over is Aburi. So literally when the light is off, it's just pitch black until a breeze. So you can see it. It's just my light and my farm, and then just blackness. So that's a concern because my friend also ate and he's Ghanaian and he got real sick. So and I also got sick from eating at the mountain. People are trying to preserve the food. I don't blame them, but that's
Yeah.
one of the significant factors in maintaining the light. So that's one of the big reasons we actually put solar on the farm.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one of the things when you move here, your body has to get accustomed to eating the food here. And especially because we don't use like a lot of chemicals
Yes.
in our food process. And so, you know, coming from somewhere where it's heavy, there's a lot of chemicals,
Yes.
it's almost like your body almost has to detox these things as well. So you will get sick along the way until things kind of like steady out a bit. So I get that.
Definitely.
Okay, so you purchased solar. Was it expensive?
It was.
How much was it? What do you have? What kind of system do you have? Do you know?
No.
Okay, but it basically runs everything.
It runs everything.
Does it run AC and stuff like that?
Yeah,
Oh, it does.
runs,
then you have a
it runs
heavy
AC.
system.
It runs the borehole. Yeah, everything.
Oh, then you must have a pretty huge
Yeah,
system.
we brought
for
in
that.
a lot of them. In fact, it was even a journey when I came because
You imported it?
yeah, and I brought it to the farm from China, and when we were on our way to go take it to the farm, our car broke down, and then so I had to get in the car with this guy. Now, meanwhile, a week before I had met this guy. I have friends here in Ghana,
Yeah.
so my friend Justin introduced me to this other guy, and he's from America, but he's Ghanaian, but he's came back to come visit. So he was like, when we met, we were out at the club, and he was like, "Oh man, like it's so cool you do farming. Like,
Yeah.
I want to go." And I was like, "I'm about to go like tomorrow, next week if you want to come." And he was
Yeah.
like, "Sure," before you leave. So he came. So I had him. So I had company with me. So the car breaks. So everything happens when you, of course, you bring
Oh, of
people.
course, yeah.
So then we had to get in the car with the truck driver, who was already annoyed because he felt like we were taking too long and wasting his time. So then we had to direct him to the farm.
Yeah.
That was Wahala. But then we get there. Then his truck breaks down when it's time to drive into our gate. His truck breaks down completely. But again, Ghanaians are very helpful and resourceful.
Yeah.
So, you know, we a lot of the villagers kind of our truck was blocking the progress because people's farms are north and they bring their things. So we were kind of disrupting the flow. So
Yeah.
a lot of the villagers came together. They were taking the solar panels off of the truck, putting it on their heads, and loading it up straight up.
Wow.
So-
Did you have to pay them?
You know, something small every time. You know, everything.
What's something small? I want to know because American something small and Ghana something small are two different categories. So what is your something small?
I'm trying to remember how many of them there were because it wasn't like plenty. Maybe I think maybe paid 150 CDs, but it was like I want to say like 7 of them. So
Okay,
yeah,
that's fair.
But it was really only like because they were it was just that helped.
Yeah.
I've been paid people to do work, and that's obviously more money, but that's a different situation. Yeah.
Okay. So have you ever come across a time where you found out that you've been ripped off doing something here?
100%. I think that's. I don't feel like that's an experience that anybody can escape, and I also feel like one thing I'll say about it though. I'll say Americans, we take it so personal, and I'm not saying that. Listen, if you lose everything, I'm not telling you not to take it personal.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in the sense of like people think like just because you were American, they saw your back, they're like, this is the one I need to scam. Some people, I'm sure, but the reality is that the way the Ghanaians even do other Ghanaians,
Yeah.
it's just in a culture where people are struggling to get ahead, or they, that's the nature of the beast. I also think that like people sometimes come here with a little bit too much rosy glasses. Like they'll be here and be like, I'm fine, nobody's gonna do me wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you would never even believe that no matter what. If you're American, you can live in a black community, and you wouldn't believe that then. So like, why do you come here and then like, that doesn't make any sense. And you are the more affluent person in this scenario.
Yeah.
You know.
No, absolutely. Okay. So tell me when you've been ripped off. I want to hear about it. Pick one.
I was through the Rolodex.
I'm sure there's a lot of them.
I tell you, since we brought up the solar, when we actually had the solar to be installed, remember I told you we had somebody build the house, the carpenter.
Yeah.
So the carpenter, we were paying the carpenter, but never pay nobody to buy the tools. You must buy them yourself.
Yes.
They come and give them. That's an important.
Yes.
It's like an important lesson.
Yes.
Because he had been taking the money and then buying cheap wood. So you didn't find that out because he put a cover over the ceiling. So over the wood you can't necessarily see. Now when they were coming to install the solar, because they were putting the solar inside, they had to run the wires through the roof.
Right.
Dela, the guy who was installing the wires, he literally fell straight through in the bathroom, straight through the roof.
No.
Straight through. I got pictures, I'll send it to you. Straight through. Ooh.
Huh?
Straight through the roof. Yeah.
Because of the wood.
Because of the poor wood. Yep.
Oh no.
So we had to fix the whole roof. So that's one example. My mason, he was trying to live in the house. So while he was there doing work late, he would just find himself having another house
Oh
for
really?
enjoyment.
How was he getting in?
Because he did have the key because he was working on things in the house.
Right.
But
He was decided to live in there.
Yeah. So,
Oh wow. Okay.
so you know, there's.
Wow. So how much did it cost you to redo the roof?
I think about 1,200 CDs.
Okay, that's not too bad.
It's not
though.
too
That's
bad.
Not too bad.
Things aren't too bad. Depending on we bought a lot of materials, right? So you kind of always have something lying around.
Right.
If you can then source it yourself and not deal with the scam of it. Then,
Yeah.
But we definitely got ripped off on how much, because the fact that he was using poor wood means that he just bought the cheapest one and then pocketed the difference. So definitely I'm sure there's a bigger scam in that. But you try to live with what you can. Right?
Yeah. Okay. So is the farm actually making money yet, or you're not at that stage yet?
No, not at that stage. So we're still in the building stage. We're adding our animals now. There are multiple streams of income that are available. I wanted to establish the business first. I just got the business established last week.
Okay.
Been trying since December. These things take time. So because now the business is established, I have more of a leeway. But even as far as export import, that is the main business that we're getting into.
Okay, so tell me about that.
Yeah, I think as far as market opportunity, even across Africa, not even just outside, because everybody's always focused on outside, but I think even feeding intra-Africa, there's a lot of opportunity costs. There's a lot of advancements that could be made into farming, and I think that there are even some quality standards that can be implemented just a little bit higher. And I don't mean that as like a general, I mean for everybody's individual business, right?
Yeah.
For what you choose to do. And South Africa kind of has the reign of being the meat farmers, but everybody consumes meat.
Yeah.
There's no,
you
know.
Yeah, we like meat. Yeah.
So I think that with an attention to detail, just trying to implement some of the tactics. And my friend right now, who is helping me on the farm, who is a Ghanaian, he actually lived in South Africa for quite some time and did some farming there too. So implementing some different techniques and
So
self-sustainability is a big part of it.
So is all of that? Does it take a lot of paperwork to be able to export meat and things like that?
Yeah, a lot of paperwork, fruit. I think there's a lot of paperwork in almost exporting anything, especially things people are going to consume.
Yeah, I'm interested in the fruit because fruit spoils very quickly. So if you're going to export it, what's the process like?
It depends on the fruit and the vegetable. They both have different ones. Some of the vegetables are in different categories, and depending on what country you're going to send it to, I hate to be very like esoteric, but it is very, where are you sending it and how much and what are their rules? Because some people have different rules. Like for example, the UK has specific rules for pineapples and mangoes versus apples and pears. You know, these are very like nuanced details.
Yeah.
So, and when it comes to fruit, one of the things people like to do more, which is also something that I'm looking into, is the processing of it, right? Because once you dry the fruit, obviously you extend the shelf life. It's a lot easier to ship. The difference is when you're drying fruit, all that moisture that's in a fruit gets whittled down. So it takes a lot more fruit to make more dry fruit package than it would if you were just exporting.
So freeze drying them or?
Freeze drying them, also dehydrating them. Dehydrating is probably the most popular one, like the mango strips, the pineapple chunks, the banana chips, etc.
Oh, okay. So you're going to be doing all of that?
Yeah.
Wow, that's. I like the idea of that because for me, I like to pick things up from the shelf and just eat them, and so that stuff is good. I feel like that we don't have a lot of access to that here at the moment. I feel like it's kind of like a new sort of thing that we're seeing, but it's not that popular yet.
I agree.
So I think it's a good time.
And you even have young children, right? So it's easy to just put something in their bag that won't spoil, or even with the heat, because the heat makes the fruit spoil. That's even a big problem in our village. I think so much of the fruit that is grown is wasted, and I got to experience that myself. I got to see pineapple harvest, and people just saying like it's almost like too many pineapples, and then to take them down the hill, it's expensive to take it down the mountain, right? So not everybody who farms has the capital to take it to Accra. So sometimes they do get wasted, and so if you're able to preserve, I care a lot about sustainability. I care a lot about zero waste. That's one of the big parts, even with the farm. Like the poop is valuable, right? Like everything has value. So
Yeah, that's true because I mean I've been to like different lands and sometimes I see these farms and then you see the fruit all over the floor and it's just spoiling. You're like, how's it spoiling? Like this is real wastage.
Yes.
But is that a dent in the farm's capital when that happens?
When
Like for anybody that's doing farming, like
no question. I think that some people end up. I think a lot of people in Accra, just from even my small sample size, I've talked to a lot of people who are farmers. I've been to different farms. I've been to Sokokope. I've been to Tamale. I've been to BA. I've been all over just talking to people Kumasi, and I think it really takes the wind out of their sails sometimes if they can't even transport their things. So forget about export for 1 second. Let's talk about getting their things to Accra.
Right.
That in itself is a hurdle for a lot of people.
Don't you just put it on a truck and then
Well, it depends on where it is. So one of the regions that was growing the most corn, I'm trying to remember exactly where it was. I can't remember, so I don't want to say the wrong name. But the road was so bad that nobody wanted to send trucks to come and pick it up because it would spoil their trucks. So then you had all this maize that was grown there and just go to waste because you didn't have the market.
So how do you solve that problem?
Well, that's different. Well, the logistics issue of the roads, that's a different issue altogether.
Yeah.
But I think that preservation methods of any kind, there does need to be better access points from city to rural area where a lot of the agriculture is grown because farmers need it for their chickens. There's chicken farming is very, very large here. That was one of the things we wanted to do. There's a lot of chicken farmers here.
Yeah.
Because chicken is a little bit of a lower barrier to entry, and but chickens can also die very quickly. And so I would say that as the farmers, when you don't have market or something happens, unfortunately, like a flu, and you don't have all that much money, but you're trying to make a little money for yourself, so you're hustling, and then you lose all your birds or you lose all your fruit, or you don't have the people to come and move the fruit, or you can't afford for somebody to come and move the fruit, then it really does discourage you from even farming altogether.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I always say to people. Unfortunately, listen, I understand who I am. My friends say I'm a dadaba. Like
Okay.
in the sense of like, how I'm operating this business is not how everybody can come to Ghana and operate the business.
Yeah.
So I do understand that. Right? Like, I'm very fortunate in that regard. Farming is an expensive thing to start. Like I think people think homesteading, which is you have 1 or 2 goat, 3, 4, 5 goat. That's fine, right? They eat just kind of out. You just kind of leave them out. They're like pets almost.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's not farming business, right? That's not putting your animals on a feed, making sure they graze in this particular, making sure that you give them the proper medicines, having medicines on hand, checking them every day, cleaning up after them to make sure they're not sleeping in their own waste because that also causes parasites. All things that can cause you to lose your farm. It's very, it's cost intensive sometimes, and it's time consuming and time intensive. So if you maybe trying to work and do it, it can be very difficult because you may not have the time. So I feel like people always try to convince people that farming is something that poor people do.
That's very interesting. Yeah.
And even if you look at America, even look at the UK, some of the most successful businesses are farms. People have to eat. That's something that even if you wanted to cut you can't really cut out that one.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
So.
Wow. Okay. So I guess some people would think, okay, I'm gonna come to Ghana, I'm gonna start a farm. So they're thinking about, I'll do carrots, lettuce, those like basic things. Is that different to what you're talking about when you talk about farming?
Yeah, for me personally, one, because let's say that you're gonna grow carrots. There's a lot of things that are involved with growing those carrots. For example, are you gonna buy a big enough land where you're gonna export all the carrots, or are you gonna do something like a farmer co-op, which is done very commonly in the United States and other places where you kind of gather from the other farmers, or then you get into the issue of what's the standard of operation on those farms, right? Can you source from other farms if you don't have enough? If you can't, you're also kind of putting yourself in a little bit of a dangerous situation because you may not be able to meet demand once you kind of have created that, and then people will look elsewhere and then your business will fall to the wayside. Livestock die very easy, so I'm not necessarily coming to tell you that livestock is so much better than carrots. I think there's different methods of how you can preserve, right? Freezing and kind of having an operation where you're able to preserve the meat. Solar powered freezer, something that we do, right? So these are all things that help us, set ourselves up in a strategic position to flourish a little bit better.
Okay. I don't know if it was you. I saw a video where because it rains, the chickens died. Was that you?
Oh no, it wasn't me. But
okay.
I do know. And it's not just the raining. Raining is significant. You have to keep the birds, any animal really, out of the rain. Dogs don't even like the rain. Rain dogs run everywhere. Parasites come from the rain. Even eating wet food. So like for the goats and the sheep, too much wet grass. Parasites are inside wet grass.
Right.
So it takes a lot of work. And then not to mention there are different flus and once in a lifetime generational kind of things that come and wipe out people's farms. I know a guy who had 2,500 chickens. Sickness came, wiped out all his birds. That's a big expense.
Really? I have no concept of what 200 and however much you said. 2,500. What is the cost of something like that? Like I have no, like I can't relate it to a number. Like how much is that in money? Or how much would that be potentially in money?
Okay. Well, you could do the direct cost and you could do the indirect cost. Both, because the indirect cost is kind of where you get to kill it. Depending on how many day-old chicks he bought, the day-old chicks definitely range in price, but they're not cheap. I'd say day-old chicks can range about maybe, are they imported? Because that's a lot of people import birds here. There's like a big thing.
Really?
Yeah, the Hollander is a big bird that because high egg laying production.
Wow, oh, I see.
So when you're talking about farming for business, that's when you start to meet the people. I've met a lot of Ghanaians who are doing serious egg chicken business, even in the farm. Yeah, I'm not gonna put her business out there because I know she doesn't like the spotlight. But I know a lady, she has an immaculate chicken farm. She's a big operation. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And it makes money like
she
that.
Makes money, though. And she's an older lady, so it's not like I'm not disrespecting her anyway. She's not going out there picking eggs. She has all these young people that are there and they work on the farm, but she and her husband are there. She drives to Kumasi all the time. She has a warehouse in Kumasi. She lives her life.
I see. Okay, so you didn't answer the cost of the chicken. Do you know?
I'd have to actually look it up. I probably could actually look it up and compare.
Yeah.
I knew we did also just buy some birds. We bought about 50 birds. For about $150.
Okay, it's not too bad.
It depends on the kind of bird and the weight, right? Some are 50 CDs, some can range to 70 CDs, some could even be 100 CDs per bird, depending on the kind of bird that you have. So then you could take that and then times that by 2,500.
Right.
And then then you have to feed them. They're not like they just come out and they just live. You have
go and fend for yourself, right?
You have to buy tons of maize because to have that many birds, you are feeding them kilos and kilos and kilos of maize. So that means you would have had to buy maize and store it. Let's hope that the maize didn't spoil. Let's hope the rats didn't get into the maize. Let's just hope for that. And then you fed them already and then they've died. So then all the feed that you already spent for, you've already invested that and now your investment is going to come out with absolutely nothing.
This sounds too stressful for me. It sounds like you always have to be on the ball, right? Because there are things constantly happening, so you have to be on top of this.
Definitely.
So you're one person, so you can't be doing all this by yourself.
No, I'm not, and that's why I think that I'm very fortunate. I met some people here, even while I was here, who have been able to become a part of the team and help. And my friend, he lives on a farm with me, and he manages the animals too. We're also building out our infrastructure, so we add more employees. But scale is definitely something that I always try to think about. Try to take some of the things I learned from the startup world.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. How many employees do you have at the moment?
3.
Okay. And they're actual farmers?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So tell me, what have been some of the highs about you being in Ghana, starting the farm? What have been some of the best moments you've had?
The best moments. I think being able to accomplish some of the things that were pretty difficult and I didn't necessarily think that I could accomplish, but I somehow found a way, and like for example, we were trying to put on the livestock shed, we were trying to put a roof on it and it was taking forever and people were quoting us like minimum. It was like going to be a minimum $12,000 to put a roof on the and me, I was like,
what?
I can show you the quotes. I can show you the quotes. 12,000, 15,000, all the quotes from the companies in Tema to the companies all the way in Wasia. The rates were outrageous. And meanwhile, me, I'm not a fool. Okay, I'm not gonna call the Ghanaian person. I'm gonna have somebody do it, right? Because they hear my accent, of course, it's 1200. But I'm, they're going through other people, and it's still, this is the cost. The metal is gonna be this. They even give you a breakdown, so you don't, in case you think they're cheating. This is how much the metal is. The metal is going to be so much money. So we found a guy, able to put it on, and so like I was able to do that. Kind of, me and my friend were able to do that, and that was cool because my dad was pretty soured on the situation. He didn't think that we would be able to get it done for the range that we said we were able to get it done for, and so we just got it. We were able to get it done for 5,000, which is quite significant, and it's lasted all this time. So being resourceful, finding a way.
Yeah.
But and then I think also community, right? Like being in the village, there's so many people who like. There's a gentleman, an older man. He has a shop. I try to show love to the shop. He always shows us so much. Like he always brings us fruits and stuff, and he even plants stuff on our farm. Like I brought you this to plant. It's just that sense of community. I think is very beautiful. The safety, because I've been walking all kinds of hours of the night all by myself, and it's just I'm not saying that nothing can ever happen. I don't want to come and believe that, but. As long as you kind of have your wits about you. And people are very helpful because I also, when I started driving here, I would get stuck. Somebody might just push me out, somebody just see me in distress. Remember one time I got stuck in the mud. I didn't even know how I was going to get out. And then 2 people just got to come by and they just saved me. And, of course, you get to the mall if you can. But sometimes they're not even, like some people have helped me, they don't even want any money. They go, I just wanted to help you.
Wow, okay. So tell me about your lowest moments. Has there ever been a moment where you're like, I'm done with Ghana, like this is too much, I want to go back to the States?
I think when I first came, that was a regular occurrence.
Really?
Oh yeah. The time when there was no internet, I couldn't use the bank, and I couldn't use no internet, no bank, no social media. It was real, because you grow up your whole life somewhere else, and everybody your whole way of living life is there.
Yeah.
So then when you come here, you're like, I don't really know anybody. And then there's cultural differences, right? And so sometimes it does get lonely. I definitely had long periods of I was like, damn, it's really lonely here. And I've met more friends, so it's been less lonely.
Yeah.
I feel like God listened to me a little bit because sometimes I was like, am I just gonna be in the apartment by my? Like you go out, but it's like if you also don't know anybody when you're going out. Sometimes even going to the club feels a little bit boring. So then you said things taking a very long time. The weather, rainy season. You trying to build a farm. Try to build in the rain. You end up being 2 weeks. You're not doing anything. You feel like all this time is passing, and I'm trying to be productive. Get this done on this timeline. So that's very stressful. And sometimes you be having your worst day, and then that's when the police stop you. It'll be one of those days where you're like, I've already had it up to here, and then the guy would be like, come back. You're like, you didn't even find and you literally it's literally just about asking for money. But they're still gonna do we really need to check. Yeah. Some of those an amalgamation of and then I was sick too, right? So I feel like some of those days where you're like I can't eat. Gosh, all this and the business is not going like this. It could be real tough. And I've never experienced, but I would say that I always said I was like, wow, you can see why a Ghanaian or a Nigerian would go to America and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna work this much, because at least. America's not better in the systems. It's just in certain things you may not have to wait as long. Registering a business, you want to have to wait 6 months. So you can see how somebody not having some of those, hurdles in front of them, how they would be able to run faster.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you miss your life in the States?
I was actually just talking to my friend about this before I left. I think that the life that I remember, and I'm starting to feel like an old head. And I'm not even 30 yet. Okay. But I feel like, when the things that I talk about, things that I used to do, either it's been completely changed or the culture just isn't there anymore. So I would say that my version of America that I kind of grew up in is significantly changing. I grew up, we used to go to the mall, no money, talk to girls or whatever, or sports, right? I grew up playing like sports are so expensive now that I played travel sports my whole life. My brother played travel sports. My parents took us up and down through the United States just to play sports, right? And nowadays it's like these teams cost like $2,000, $3,000, and that's not for the equipment that you also have to buy them. That's just for them to be on this team. That you also have to pay for the travel and you know that kind of stuff. I think kind of disillusions me. I think that even when it comes to when the economy gets bad, you know, I feel like you see so many similar things in so many similar places. Like, I actually watched your video when you were talking about Ghanaian women's kind of like what they expect out of things. And I would say that I feel like in the West, while it's not like a super common thing, I feel like as the economic situation gets worse, you meet a lot more women who are like, yeah, I only want like the only way that you pay my bill, like that when people say like, oh no, like, you know, Western women only want to marry for like it's about your economic it really is about your economic condition. If you can, like you did say, if you can afford to, then you can afford to. I mean, me personally, like if I'm looking for somebody, I probably would want somebody who's, you know, lifestyle balance obviously matters, but probably somebody who would take a little bit more because of the situation that I'm in. But I could also see somebody like, hey man, if you mean, talk to me. If you want to talk to me, it's gonna be 200. I gotta understand it. And then, you know, I'm not gonna lie, it's here. I always joke about my goddamn friends, like they lay it all thick. It's the culture. It's the culture. Like,
absolutely.
Like I remember I would be seeing that, like my Ghanaian friends, like a girl he had never met, like he'd be like, hey. You like stop the car, like the theatrics of it all. Like for me, I'm like, is this a movie? Like you think you're in a movie? Like it is a movie. Life is a movie. All right, you know that's the kind of mentality. But like America, you'd be like, you're doing a lot. But in Ghana, it's like just enough. Just you have to show her. Get down. And like, oh, you want to come to America? I'll take you to America. And me, I'm an American. I'm like this guy. Like, come on, man.
But it works. Yeah. What's your dating life been like here? Have you dated anybody in Ghana?
I'm going on dates, so I don't know about like dating relationship now. I think it's been a mixed bag. Because one girl after 1 week she was like, I'm ready for a baby.
Huh? With who?
That's what I said. I remember when she said it. I was waiting for the. She just kept looking at me. I'm looking at her. I was like, oh, this gotta be the last time we hang out. I kind of liked you. That's unfortunate.
She gonna trap you.
Yo, who you telling? I said it was just 1 week. 1 week. I could be the worst person in the world. You know, like you would think I'm in. Anyway. I just got opportunity cost.
What? That's wild.
You're not even using critical thinking here. I need you to be a little bit more. So that, and then even sometimes like with the fascination of like wanting to go to America. Like for me, I can't go to Africa. You only want to go to America, right? Like
how's that gonna work?
That doesn't really make any sense.
And
again, the America that, again, people go to America and they really do think. I do talk to Ghanaians here who I actually get close with. They just kind of give them the gauge. Because even you had some American. When I watched the two American boys you did on the interview, or men, I don't want to call them boys, but they kind of seemed younger. That's why I said you have some older men on here. And they came here with like kind of like just come to Ghana to figure it out. Like, I could never imagine that. But telling Ghanaians, like some people don't, like they don't have, 1,000 CDs. Like they do not. If 1,000 CD per expense came up, they would be struggling. And some people really struggle to understand that. They're like in a place where there's all that money. It's like it's not. Again, nobody understands the cost of living. Nobody understands that you're paying this rent. This rent increases every year. You have to pay for your groceries. You have to pay for your gas. You have to pay for your car. Some of these concepts don't. Some people just build their house. They live in the same family house for years. Like, you don't have to worry about rent. So when they go, so it's always funny because whenever you meet people Ghanaians who have gone outside, say, hey, it's no easy, hey, this money, as soon as you make the money, it goes. Welcome. Welcome.
I always say that like cities is like water. You just can't hold on to it. It's like you try and it's just like,
seriously,
where you gone?
Sometimes I'll take some cash out, spend it. Like easily, you could spend 700 CDs easily.
Absolutely.
Like not even buying frivolous. Because people say 700 CDs, you must be.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like you will go to ANC Mall buy groceries.
Yeah.
You'll spend close to 500 to 700 CDs.
Yeah, no, it's very true. Yeah, it's so easy to like spend money here. That's why most of the time I'm like, I'm not going outside. Like outside costs money. Like,
And then even for like like people who want to live like the westernized lifestyle, you know, I've been to all the clubs, all the young boys who want to. So I've been around all that. And it's like Henny. I get it in the club. Everything's always more expensive.
Yeah.
But it's like bottle of Hennessy here, it's 800 CDs. That's like $80. Like in America, if you told somebody Hennessy, they'd be like, what? Hennessy is like $30.
Right.
Jack Daniels is a $20. I've bought Jack Daniels more times than I would like to admit. Especially in college. Jack Daniels is a $10 bottle. I was in college. That's what I could afford.
Yeah.
Oh, we getting the $15 bottle is our max.
You're right.
We're gonna be drinking it all anyway.
Yeah.
So you come here and you're like, Jack Daniels is $70. A $50 upcharge.
Yeah.
Like
the club. Yeah.
So.
It is expensive. The type of lifestyle that you want to live here can be very, very expensive. But equally, you know, if you want to live a low standard of life, you can.
Definitely.
There are ways to do it as well. So you have to find what kind of works best for you, you know.
In the village, I spend like no money.
Really?
Because you go to the market.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah. You go to the market. I have solar, so I don't even have to worry about the ECG coming on and off or having to buy a generator because the solar keeps it powered. The only thing about the solar is that, you know, when it's rainy season and it's raining very consistently, you don't get as much power. So that's definitely something that you gauge as you go along.
Yeah.
So being able to save money because you're not really eating out that much because there's no options here. And I've already realized because I came back on Sunday, so I was in the village for the week. Where you gonna walk outside and come get check or fried rice or wache? Even wache is hard to get in the village because there's not.
Really? Why? Wache is like standard Ghanaian dish.
That's what so listen. I'm coming here to meet it. I can't tell you why. I'm only experiencing it. But wache is like there's like two, and then some of the wache is not nice. That too, because sometimes people aren't. I don't know. Maybe I got spoiled with Accra wache. Got some pretty good wache here. There's also where I live is like a lot of Muslims are in the area, so there's a lot of different wache. So like even by my house alone, there's 7.
Oh, wow.
Whereas like the closest one in the village, I have to drive 35 minutes to get one. Yeah, so you know, so the going out to eat, so you have to be way more resourceful with what you eat, right? Buying more things, and when you buy about same thing, kilo of meat, 100 CDs, and you just I love to cook too, so like I'm pretty passionate about cooking, so it tends to be pretty easy. I brought some stuff from America that I like to cook that I can't find here. And there's some stuff I've been able to find here, and so you're just able to really cook, and then what do you really? I mean, even if you're spending money, like you buy stuff from like the corner shop, and stuff, you buy a lot of stuff for not that much money. So versus you go to Malcolm, right? Because my corner store used to be Malcolm because I lived right around the corner from Malcolm, whereas like now it's like a local shop, so I spent significantly less money. So it's like you gotta find. I say find ways to spend money, but you have a lot more savings in the village.
Oh wow, okay. So what's the plan now, moving forward, the farm and all of that?
Yeah, so right now the plan moving forward is to, with this first breed that we have, we're going to actually bring in the breeding techniques to breed them. Start to mix them with some hardier sheep to increase their weight capacity.
Okay.
On top of that, we are also, all our different lanes of business that we have right now, like our day-old chicks, like our chickens give birth all the time. We get eggs. I get about 5 eggs every single day right now, and the birds, the 50 that I just talked about, are babies, so they're growing, and they're gonna. I'm talking about the birds that are out of the 50 give us 5 eggs a day, and so we're also hatching some baby chicks, so helping farmers get started.
Okay.
When it rains on my farm, snails come. So we've been starting collecting the snails. Snails,
really?
Not a big fan. You know what's funny? I actually ate snail when I was a child. I had a I went to this fancy school. Like they did a lot of things. Because I was in elementary school, but we did a lot of things that I look back on. I was like, this school is like too much. But we used to have International Day. Now, these people were in high school, so I don't understand why we did the exchange. But with these French kids, and they used to come. and then we would like have French cultural exchange day. It was very white school, obviously. And then so they would bring their foods, and so like they brought escargot, and I was a kid, and I was like, I'll try it. As a kid, I would eat anything. Eel. I'm very experimental.
Oh my gosh!
Very
Wow.
experimental, so.
Okay.
It didn't taste that bad, but you know, escargot is like this. It's a little bit, if you trick your mind, it's like a dark shrimp. I know people probably hate that reference, but these Africans in snails that are like this big.
I know.
I don't even. I
know.
went on a date one time, and the girl, that was her appetizer. She said 4 peppered snails, and I'm there trying not to be mortified by what I'm witnessing, and she's going to town, and I'm like, this is an experience for sure. So.
Wow, yeah, I can't do snail, but yeah, I know it's a delicacy here for a lot of people. Wow.
And helping people start their farms too, right? So that's when we breed these stocks. If you want to come and get a more taken care of, I think documentation information is one of the things I really care about when it comes to animals and breeding.
Yeah.
And where did you get this animal from? What weight was it when it came to your farm? These kind of things. When you're buying animals, you ask those questions.
Right.
And the way that people look at you, they ask you, like if you ask them like a calculus question, you're like, oh, how much does it go? Wait. And like, you know, Ghanaians are like, okay. I don't know. You thought he was like gonna guess it, like, oh, maybe 50. Like, no, you didn't have anything.
Wow.
So documentation, medicine, regimen, strict kind of, I would say, a program for the animals to ensure the health, and just even talk about everybody kind of having some kind of way to implement certain ways to have your animals live healthier. Because to be honest with you, it's heartbreaking and very demoralizing if you don't have a lot of money. You spend your money to try to raise an animal, to try to even make meat for your house, or maybe try to flip 2 or something. Maybe you buy 4, flip 2, maybe keep 2. And without the information, you don't necessarily know what you're doing wrong. Right? That I'm not blaming everybody as if they just know and they're not doing it, but many people, sometimes they just don't have the information. So also being able to teach and kind of, you know, educate people on how to have less farm loss. Because at the end of the day, the less farm loss is the more food for all of us.
Right.
And it's bigger than just me. It's bigger. It's about all the farmers in the village, because they feed the whole nation, right? And not just in our village, but the villages across.
Yeah. Oh wow, pretty impressive. I've learned a lot today. I feel like I'm ready to be a farmer.
You should be. Everybody I think you learn so much, even homesteading, right? Like, I don't think farming is for everybody. I tell everybody that all the time. Somebody's like, oh, I like what you do. I want to be a farmer. You look cool. Because they think me, I'm like, oh, you don't look like a farmer. All the police always like, farmer. Yeah, right. And I'm like, well, first of all, farmer doesn't mean that I'm the person turning over. I mean, I do. I get out there and I want to make sure I can do everything on the farm myself. But that doesn't mean that every day I'm the person just cleaning it. Many people who own farms here, they're not the people working the farms. They just own the farm. So I think, I mean, even though you should work a farm too, right? But that experience teaches you a lot, if you even like it. But homesteading, even if you're raising animals for yourself, understanding that, like, hey, sometimes you may go out, right, and you see a goat eating trash, and you don't think anything of it. But then when you start to raise your own goat, you start to think like, hey, wait, if that goat's eating trash, then I eat that goat. I mean, and when you actually start to analyze your food that way, we think about sickness. You start to think about all different kinds of illnesses. When animals are stressed and they get killed too, the meat is also a little bit different. They're stressing the meat.
Really?
Yeah. So there's a lot to even ways to keep meat safe.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people could benefit from different, techniques, tools, even if it's more coolers, more very expensive ways. Because people say, oh, just bring in a whole bunch of coolers and deep freezers. And that stuff is like thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Right? And then not to mention duty. Like, oh, sorry, you did ask me expenses. Sorry, I just had to. I brought a truck to Ghana.
Oh, you did? You dealt with the port? You sick to your stomach, huh? What was it like?
The duty. Not the truck. I already bought the truck.
Yeah.
The duty. $13,000 US.
Then buy one here.
That's what if I had known, I was just gonna spend it for a truck. What I was going, I would have. I even saw trucks worth that same amount, and I said, "Well, I knew I have a truck here. I would even got a bigger truck, but yes, 13.
Wow.
Just on the duty.
So you basically did like buy one get one free, but the opposites.
The opposite.
Yeah.
Yes, buy it twice.
Yeah.
And then when it comes here, because the roads are bad, you'll get problems. So even now, I'm still fixing this truck that I spent $13,000 US.
Oh my gosh.
Talk about bellyache, stomach hurts.
Oh, that's sickening. Oh, you could have bought me a car.
I know. Yeah. And when I was like, you guys mean dollars? Yes, dollars. But this is not Ghana. What happened to CD? What happened to this? All of a sudden, this is dollars. Now it's a dollar conversation.
Right.
I thought we were talking CDs. This is CD's price.
Whoa. That's why a lot of people get their things stuck at the port and they can't clear
100%.
it.
And then I heard, I'm not gonna say too much against, but it's like that if your things are at the port and then you don't claim them, then if anybody can come and take,
it goes to auction.
But that's a racket. People know. People know what it is. It's then also
unfair,
13,000. Like our truck, I'm telling you, in the United States, you wouldn't even pay $30,000 for the truck.
Yeah.
It was not a brand new truck. It's a work truck. I was like, I might as well brought Lambo. If you're gonna charge me $13,000, bro, when I was seeing the people that were paying $13,000, it was a Aventador, the Corvette. I don't have a Corvette. It's a real ugly truck.
Yeah.
So.
Ooh, that's painful. And what can you do? Too late.
So love you.
Damn, you're lucky you've got some movement with your finances. Otherwise, it's
Say bye. I mean, listen, honestly. In retrospect, hindsight is always 20/20.
Yeah.
I should have left the truck, let somebody come and steal it, and then they get the headache.
Yeah.
You take the headache.
Right, yeah, you know.
But I did send it, so.
Wow, okay. But anyway, it's been really good speaking with you.
Likewise.
Where can people find you if they want to know about, contacting you in terms of maybe starting a farm or
I'm on Instagram, Antonio Suave. I'm on TikTok, pretty active on TikTok. I have a YouTube, Life of Suave TV. I'm gonna upload some more stuff, especially about the farm.
Yeah.
I was always trying to figure out like what people wanted to see, but people seemingly want to see like the beginnings, how people get started and stuff, because that's
absolutely
the hardest
it's
part.
the journey, isn't it? Yeah.
Because I haven't even showed the journey of building it, which took a lot. But sometimes you're so much in the journey, sometimes I get too much into it. Then I take a step back and then like post videos about it.
Definitely.
I'm definitely trying, but definitely on all my social medias, you could definitely find me. I think like Instagram and TikTok is probably the most active. I have a business email for the business.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'm around.
Nice.
The cowboy hat pretty makes me pretty recognizable. Every time I sit with this on the airport, people always think I'm going somewhere else.
Yeah.
Let's start getting on that Ghana plane. They're like,
He's going to Ghana with a cowboy hat.
That's right.
I love it. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that's the end of today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a very, very interesting and informative conversation. I hope you guys have learned some stuff too. Okay, so if you're interested in farming or want to know anything else, you can definitely feel free to reach out to Anthony. I'll put all his details into the description box so you can reach out there, okay? If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Don't forget to also like, comment and share this video. Until next time, we are out. Niti Fafa. Sit. Stop.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly.